Before we get into this week's video, there's something we need to address, and that's where we need to discuss privilege. As we've seen over the last week and a half within our country, privilege has really divided us. And it's from that privilege that I'm encouraging you to make sure that you are spending some time learning about the privilege that every person has in different arenas. And with that understanding of your privilege, hopefully we can better understand how to help those who aren't in those privileged positions. In Bemidji, it's really easy to feel like we're out of the place where privilege is. But in fact, there's plenty of people who are seeing the effects of lack of privilege. And so just make sure that you're spending some time reflecting on that and thinking about that. Let's get into this week's video. Hello, and welcome to the Weekday Update. My name is Tyler Bubbles. I'm the Director of Youth and Family Ministry here at First Lutheran Church in Bemidji. And let's jump into the news. This week, there's a lot of different fun things that are going on here at the church. And I'm excited to announce what our summer programming will be for our middle school all the way through our college students. And heck, if adults want to join in, they're more than free to join in. And I'm going to title it Physically Distant, Spiritually Connected. And the reason that I thought about that is with all the different things that were going on today between civil unrest, the unrest and uneasiness of what COVID-19 has been doing to our communities, I was thinking about how can we come together in different ways while still respecting the CDC's guidance on separation and still make impact within our community. Because there's a lot of people who are going through a lot of hurt and pain. But in that, we still hope to have some fun. So what I am announcing is we are going to look at having a socially distanced bike ride. And then I've also been in contact with the Bemidji Community Food Shelf and looking at having some type of schedule where we're doing some weeks where we're doing something of service to help the community. Maybe it's helping in the garden at the community food shelf. And some weeks maybe we're have something kind of fun. And I'm hoping that this is something that we can all kind of come together on and be something that we can do some work that's benefiting the community while spending time together. And sometimes it's just going to be enjoying our company together. I hope this is kind of making sense. And if there are any questions that you have, please let me know. I'd love to hear any suggestions or ideas that you have. If this sounds like something that'd be fun to do, please let me know. As you've probably seen over the last week and a half, there's been a lot of civil unrest. And I think it leads into the reason why the National Youth Gathering has been looking at Minneapolis as being one of the place to have our National Youth Convention in 2021. There's a lot of different things that we can dig into and work with and hopefully build some community ties with and help those communities that's in need. We've seen this last week how some of that has come afoot. And for me, especially that I grew up an hour from the Twin Cities and my fiance went to Bethel, which is down in the Twin Cities, and we spent time in some of those communities down there. I'm really excited about the potential of what we're able to do for those communities and being able to connect you and learn about some different cultural things that many of us when we go to the Twin Cities can easily ignore. So the National Youth Gathering will be from this year's 7th graders all the way to this year's juniors in high school. It'll be June 29th through July 3rd, 2021 in Minneapolis. I'm looking to try to start getting those teams together. Again, if you've gone on National Youth Gatherings before and you would love to have some input or have some photographs or talk about your experience, please let me know. We can figure out some time that we can maybe get a video and even stick it into this newscast. So that's exciting. One other thing that I have for this week is the daily devotions and just kind of talking to you a little bit more about what those are. We've definitely passed it on to the congregation. But one thing especially we haven't had is anyone of say, younger voices speaking through what this time and in this place and what are you reflecting on? And there's no rules that state that it has to be just one person. Maybe it's that you want to do it together with your family, or maybe you want to do it together with a friend. That'd be awesome. It'd be great to see and kind of hear younger voices and what you guys are hearing and wanting people to reflect upon and how God is impacting you in this time. One additional thing that we've also had is Scooter Magooter. I just talked to him before this, and he said he has another short telecast this week to give you an update on the alien invasion. So, Scooter, are you there?
Thanks, Tyler. Yes, there's been a couple little updates here. As you can see on this land here, that there's some type of turmoil. It looks like something possibly is growing on this soil, and I'm not entirely sure. Again, like I anticipated, it possibly could be some type of alien growth form or something of that nature. I've also noticed that there is seeming to be these seeds of some nature, and we'll see if that's their way of reproducing and being able to establish a colony here in Bemidji. I'm not entirely sure. What I did find this last week, which is extremely concerning to me, is that we have noticed that the pastor here at First Lutheran has been contacted directly. They know who our leader is, as you can see from this photo, and I'm very concerned about that. They obviously are trying to do some type of overthrow, and I don't know what that will mean going forward. So again, take extreme caution with everything that's going on, and I'll keep digging into this to let you know. Again, if you have any information that might help in this, please reach out to me. My number is on the screen here, and we'll see what this all means. Back to you, Tyler.
Thanks, Scooter. Again, to me, that looks like soil that's just been turned over and grass seed. But we'll see. I still kind of let Scooter do his thing, because Scooter is an interesting reporter, and at least he's trying to give us a different perspective on this, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. So finally, the last thing I have is just thinking about and forming around the idea of what do you guys like about the church? What don't you like about the church? What are things that you are seeing that can be transformed? It's something that I keep throwing out there, and I really want you to think about in this, because I think with all these reflection times that we're able to have right now, the church is not going to come back the same. And this is an amazing time, especially as the youth of the church, to really have your voice heard and really make a severe impact on where the church is going in the future. And there is no better time for those voices to be heard than right now. And I'd love to hear them. I'd love to be able to then talk on your behalf and give you support in trying to make those changes happen within our own church. And so I'm really excited to hear what you guys are thinking about what's going on with church, different ideas that you have about the church and faith and life. I'm hoping to try to slowly over the next couple weeks give most of you a call and have a conversation and just talk with you. And we don't necessarily need to answer that question deeply that time that I call you. A lot of it's just touching base with you being brothers and sisters in Christ and being able to communicate and talk and catch up. It's been really hard for me to know where I should be trying to steer this ship when I'm not hearing from my second boss, which is you guys. Being able to understand what things you guys are needing and the things and the voices that you're focusing in on, and just hearing what's going on. So I'm looking forward to hearing those. I hope that this update in some way, some form, some fashion has been helpful, just to feel like you staying in touch, and hopefully I can hear more back from more of you as this goes on. So my name is Tyler Bubbles. I'm the Director of Youth and Family Ministry here at First Lutheran Church in Bemidji. This has been your Weekday update, and I'll see you next week.